the Carter 4 was
Carter
what,
4,
2014 or 2014, right? Carter 4?
No, 2011.
2011. And then the Carter 5 was supposed to come out in 2014.
Yeah, something like that.
And then Birdman.
We first saw this album art back then. This is the original album art he first teased, surprisingly.
Then Birdman and Lil Wayne had their falling out over some contractual issues that no one really can totally understand what happened. Lil Wayne was in creative prison, I think he described it. And then they kind of figured things out, but we still didn't get the Carter 5 for a while. And then all of a sudden, Lil Wayne, 2018, dropping the Carter 5. Dave, how are you feeling just about Lil Wayne dropping an album in 2018? It's been a while since we had heard anything really good from him.
Yeah, I think that's the point. It's not like, even though the Carter 5 had been locked away, whatever. It's not like we hadn't heard Lil Wayne music. We'd heard that Free Weezy album in 2015. We'd heard Dedication 6 last year, then he re-released it at the top of this year. And those projects more or less suck. There's very little to like on those. Even I'm Not a Human Being 2 from 2013, I think is pretty bad. Mm-hmm. Even the Carter 4 was pretty bad. And we just haven't had good Lil Wayne in quite a long time. Mm-hmm. So I really wasn't expecting much, nor didn't think much of the moment, because it's like, why am I supposed to think much has changed? You're telling me the music that he made a few years ago is supposed to radically change my opinion from the music he just released? Like, Lil Wayne was already making bad music a few years ago, so I don't care what the title of the album is. So it wasn't like a big monumentous occasion to me, but I'm clearly in the minority, because this album's going to go number one. It's going to sell a lot of records, and everyone's very excited to listen to it on Friday.
Yeah, and especially for people our age, I mean, when the Carter 3 dropped, it was a monster. It was nominated for Album of the Year. It won the Grammy for Rap Album of the Year. It was top 10 in a lot of sites and magazines, best albums of the year. I mean, it was a monster, and it's undeniable. You go back and you listen through. There's a lot of hits on there. But with the drop off, I mean, Wayne held a very, I don't know, especially that late 2000s into the early teens, he held like a very interesting place, because I don't know if people would have said he's the best rapper alive or even the most creative, but maybe the most fun, maybe the most.
Plenty of people said he was the best at his peak.
I mean,
because it was during Jay-Z's lull,
right? And Kanye was kind of just doing his weird 808s and right before he dropped My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. So yeah, I guess that would make sense. He probably was considered the best for those couple of years.
That's also when Eminem was away, with his drug problems. So he definitely occupied the top tier for several years.
I'm gonna have to check out what Shea Serrano says was the top rapper for that year. I know he's got all those figured out, but then he fell off. Like, I don't want to say pretty quickly, but it was a pretty slow roll. I mean, he had that. Wasn't he doing those songs with Kevin Rudolph or something like that?
Kevin Rudolph was signing Cash Money. That was why. Yeah, he had those two songs, Kevin Rudolph.
That was terrible. I felt like that was
Shea Serrano in the Rap Yearbook has A Milli 2008, which A Milli was probably the most influential song from Carter 3, and that really kind of pioneered the sound of rap moving forward. And at that time too, I mean, remember Lil Wayne shepherded Drake into the world, which is feels like ancient history at this point, given Drake's in his early 30s. But yeah, I mean, So Far Gone, comeback season era Drake. And that was back when he was just part of the team. Remember, it was Lil Wayne, Drake, Nicki. They're all under Birdman. Heck, they even brought Tyga in when Tyga first started popping. Like, quite the moment, in the pre-modern music consumption age.
And now with the Carter 5, and you said it's going to go number one. It's doing crazy numbers. People are very excited for this album. What did you think? Does this deserve to be a number one album, especially when we talk about such a strong project from Logic?
I mean, Logic's had a few number ones already, so I'm not worried that, and I'm actually more happy that Brockhampton got number one album for the previous week.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Over 100,000. which is nice to see. But yeah, I mean, Lil Wayne, when there's something so hyped for someone who is so popular and used to be so big, it's gonna go on. It's just, again, baked into fans. We saw this with Eminem. Even when Eminem released Revival in December, no one was excited about the album. Still went number one. Doesn't really mean much when you're that famous,
Right?
But no, I think I think it's getting overhyped. People kind of living in the moment with it a little too much. But it's his best album. I'd say it's his best album since the Carter 3, his best project since probably Sorry for the Wait, which was one of his mixtapes from I think 2011. And it's listenable, and it has really good. Of course, it's way too long, but yeah, it's a lot better than almost everything he's released since 2010. So I think that's a pretty good endorsement considering where he was at.
It's actually really funny. I was thinking the other day because we had this Logic album which ran like an hour 15. We had the Carter 5 ran 90 minutes. Lupe was over 90 minutes last week. I was like, man, back in June, we were listening to 27-minute albums, 20-minute albums, and we were like, okay, perfect. Like that's good. Give me a taste and get out. And now these guys are dropping 3 times that. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think there's a little bit too much hype around this. I don't think it's album of the year, any kind of talk like that. It's better than I expected. I'll be honest about that. I didn't really have high expectations for this, but I do think there's a lot of listenable songs, and there's a lot of moments, I think, where different features, Wayne at points really pop out, and I say, wow, there's really moments that I think you can take away and say that's an awesome music moment for the year. Like Nicki on Dark Side of the Moon singing. I didn't know that she had that kind of range. I was taken aback. I had to double check, see who it was.
Should have brought it back more for Queen.
Yeah. I thought Kendrick killed it on Mona Lisa. I mean,
I don't think I actually like that song that much.
No, like it's not a great song, but Kendrick's still.
It's a really impressive verse, and it's like really like weird the way that it's like, it's like a concept song more than anything. But I've listened to it a few times, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna download this. I'm not actually gonna like it that much, but it's interesting. It's not a phoned-in verse, that's for sure.
No, definitely not. I thought the song with Snoop Dogg was really fun sounding, and Snoop blends into it really well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, like Ashanti's on this.
I think she's used really well.
Yeah,
didn't need Mac Main, but Ashanti was good.
So I mean, just kind of looking through, there were moments that I thought. What did you think of Travis's verse?
Yeah, so I thought it's a solid Travis verse, nothing out of the ordinary. But what was cool about it to me was that it definitely sounded like it was a Travis verse from a few years ago. It sounded like it was a Birds in the Trap session, Travis. And similar to the way the cadences Kendrick was bringing out Mona Lisa, definitely feel more to Pimp a Butterfly than say Damn Eric Kendrick. So I thought, even if I didn't love those songs per se, I think that's just cool because the nature of this project that it was gestating for so long out of Lil Wayne's control, you get these time capsule verses. even if it's really just those two, I think that immediately jumped out to me. I thought that was pretty cool. I think something I didn't actually expect really from Lil Wayne is, he flips, where is it? He flips Dr. Dre's Explosive on Dope Hitters, and then he flips G-Rap's Special Delivery on Uproar. I thought that was really cool because Lil Wayne hasn't done a whole lot with retro, old school songs in quite some time. So I thought that was interesting. Didn't expect that. That kind of speaks to, granted, this is Lil Wayne we're talking about here, but he definitely put in effort into this album more than I expected. Like the stuff with his mom. I mean, there's some dark moments on this talking about some of his struggles. Not a lot of this was new information to us, but again, I didn't expect him to actually do that. So I think he gets brownie points for that.
Were there any songs with just Wayne, maybe Uproar, that you found yourself really enjoying?
I think Dedicate's pretty good. But yeah, I mean, I think the album blends together. That's kind of the issue with Wayne these days is the production just sounded, for the most part, pretty modern. So nothing really jumps out like that unless, again, it's weird song structure things like they did on Mona Lisa. So I think it's more like the Carter 4 than people want to admit, but it's a lot better than the Carter 4, you know? So at the end of the day, it's just, you know, it has that, it's like a Louisiana flair, Atlanta trap.
Yeah. Also, shouts to, I might say her name wrong, Regina Carter,
Yeah.
which is his oldest daughter. And
Mhm.
I thought she sounded pretty good on the chorus of Famous. So, you know, it's interesting because I think he tried to make this a really personal album, and you know, brought in a lot of people on this. And like you said, the gestation periods, the newness of some of the songs with some of the time capsule 2014 sections makes this an interesting listen. But overall, I don't think this will go down as one of Lil Wayne's better projects.
Yeah, I think the takeaway should be that Lil Wayne is still capable,
right?
And you know, maybe we shouldn't write him off just yet. So you know, I'll give him that. He's always been, you know, talented on the mic. So you know, I'm not gonna bury him or anything. So again, he exceeded my low expectations.
Can you ever imagine Wayne having like a 444?
I'm just trying to think, what would his version of 444 be?
Yeah,
because if he had one, that'd be something.
I would love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's always been really good. The rapid fire punchlines and just unique wordplay that I wouldn't expect anyone else to try and rhyme, but he can pull it off, right? And if he could somehow twist that into like old man sage wisdom and still do those kind of, you know, rhymes, that'd probably be pretty impressive.
Yeah. I wasn't paying super attention to all the little noises. Did he bring back his lighter flicker?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it had to be on there.
That's like his ad lib.
Yeah, I love it. I love that will always be Lil Wayne's like sound.
Yeah, I tweeted a GIF of a lighter when I was tweeting about that.
Right. Yeah, the cartoon lighter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, follow Dave at Martin Swagger, me at Sheena World Peace in the Pod at Nowstalgia Pod. Also, if you're enjoying us, share us with friends. SoundCloud.com/NowstalgiaPod. Stay plugged in. And also subscribe on YouTube. Give us a rating and review on iTunes. We appreciate all the feedback and support. We appreciate you.